Welcome at last to the D45 getting electrified, which I've been promising for ages with that spare B-Band pickup. First of all, removing the strings. I do apologise for the blur, there was terrible muck on the lens. So removed the strings and marked the bridge so that I remembered which end was which. Had a look inside and realised that the jack couldn't go on the end because of the thickness of the support there, so had to go at the side. So here I am marking off the control spaces, and then I will also just check that they're nicely level. Here I'm using my smallest drill bit just to make a mark through the tape so that I don't crack the finish. But I will show you in a moment how I drill the finish on these. So in fact, look, there we go. What I do is I have the drill in reverse. Look at this, terrible practice here. Nothing supporting this guitar other than the stand. Did exactly the same for the jack plug socket, and this is where it's going to have to go, as it does on sort of an electric guitar. There's Paul sort of position if you like, but unfortunately because of the bracing it wouldn't fit in there, and there we go. Eventually, in going backwards, it will fit. Here I'm just marking off the bridge socket and drilling that for the Peizo pickup, and they're just making the jack socket a little bit bigger to make sure it fits, and trying the jack socket for size, which it does, fits nicely. Here I'm cutting a piece of foil because I had terrible trouble with the K24 with buzz because it wasn't properly earthed or grounded, whichever way you want to call it. So on this guitar what I did is I pulled a bit of wire through the 6th and then back in through the 1st, and then I put the piece of shielding gold foil over the top of that, and then just punch that with the drill bit, and then finally with the string retainers to make a hole in it. And this was just so the strings would earth out. So obviously the other end of that lead I then soldered to one of the components of the jack socket before I installed that. And so all of the strings ended up being earthed or grounded out, whichever way you want to describe it. Here I'm just popping the piezo pickup through and putting that into position before then trying to stick the controls through. There is a volume, a bass and a treble. Funnily enough, the volume doesn't seem to be working, but actually doesn't make an awful lot of difference because it was about the center mark, and the bass and treble controls both work. So there we are, screwing those into position. Now just fixing the gubbins, the electronics, to the inside of the soundboard, and then the battery pouch, which I always put in at the bottom because unlike the electronics that's very much heavier. Then just a little bit of tape to tidy up the cabling inside, and pop the knobs on. Line them up and pop those on, they just push on, and then we're done. And all that remains after that is to file down the bridge to account for the extra depth of the piezo pickup, and then pop a set of strings on her, and I've used Elixir 12s. There she is, and after a quick tune up, this is what she sounded like. I hope you've enjoyed this.